What's good, y'all? Buckmore coming through on a quick drop special. Big ups to everybody already subbed in. Appreciate it all. And if you haven't already subbed in, sub in and welcome. And of course, if you feel what I'm talking about, make sure you hit that like button before you get out of here. Hit that like button before you get out of here. I got games coming. Take the money off the floor. And as always, Sports Prediction 101 Cash App link is in the description box for those who win and want to show love. So, let's get to the chart. Let's get to what we hear to chop about, y'all. So, this Tank Davis retirement talk. Tank Davis retirement talk. I done seen it in a few places. Of course, a motherfucker like Drew Titan talk about Tank on a daily basis. This has been a daily show for Drew Titan for probably over the last motherfucking 60 days. It's been nothing but a Tank program. I mean, guess that's where he eat the best. Keeping Tank name in his mouth. So I be hearing, I done heard all different kind of channels, from channels that I like to channels that I don't like. All talk about Tank situation. So first of all, let me say this. With as far as Tank retirement, before we even get to talk about it, let me say this. The LDBC didn't make shit when it came to Gary Russell versus Devin Haney, Drew Titan. I heard you this morning on your Saturday morning live show, in case y'all ain't see it. The LDBC didn't make shit when it came to Gary Russell versus Devin Haney. Shut your delusional, dummy ass the fuck up. If only reason Gary Russell and Devin Haney wasn't made is because boxing didn't make it. Or you talking about the pandemic or whatever was going on and all this other shit. You didn't make shit. Boxing didn't make it. Boxing just didn't get the fight made. Again, you, BFTB, or nobody else on your so-called LDBC staff, none of y'all make fights in boxing. Let me let you know again. You are the help. All right? You can talk about a fight being made. You can talk about it and put it in the air and hope that the people who are responsible for making the fights may decide, hey, that sounds like a pretty good idea. Let's put this together. You don't put shit together. If they say it's not a good idea, it don't get put together because you have no say-so. You don't have no motherfucking say-so. You don't have no motherfucking say-so on what get made or what don't get made. So, for you to sit there and say what you was making, you wasn't making shit when it came to Devin Haney and Gary Russell. You just was talking about it. That's all the fuck you was doing. YouTube gave you a place to talk about it. And another thing, Drew Titan. Drew Titan thought you thought that Frank Martin was going to beat Tank, which was another loss in your loss column, in your loss column for predicting winners in fights. I told you lose all the motherfucking time. You thought Frank Martin was gonna beat Tank. That's what you wanted. BFTB wanted it too. Both of y'all thought it. Why? I don't know. When the man was nothing in his resume showed that he should have been even fighting Tank, let alone beat him. And then another thing, Frank Martin, listen y'all, Drew Titan keep trying to tell y'all that that Tank drained Frank Martin. No, the fuck he didn't. Frank Martin was fighting in a 135-pound division when him and Tank fought. Tank and Frank Martin, for those that might don't know, they signed a contract to fight in a 135-pound division. Both of them was 135-pound fighters. You can't drain yourself. All that motherfucking Frank Martin drained himself or whatever to make the weight is some motherfucking bullshit. That's some bullshit. Now, if they had a rehydration clause, whereas though the fighters couldn't weigh no more than like 10 pounds or 15 pounds on fight night from what they weighed on the night before the fight, that's a difference. That's something else though. That's just a rehydration clause not being able to go all the way back up to a certain weight. But, and now that in a way, that's the only way that you could possibly say that it is a drain, is if a person is used to going back up to a certain weight. Now, if Frank Martin weighs in at 135, and he used to, when he comes in and fight, he's used to a certain weight that's more than that 10 pounds that they gave him to do with Tank, and he's used to weighing in more than that 10 pounds, if they did a rehydration, yeah, that could make a difference. That could make a difference. But he still was a 135-pound fighter. It's not like he fought it. Drew Titan put it like, he making casuals think that Frank Martin fought at 140 and Tank made him drain his weight to come down to fight him at 135. It didn't. No, that didn't happen. Fuck no. They both fought at 135 pounds. That's why I say Frank Martin was comfortable with his weight the night of that fight. And Frank Martin ain't looks nothing like Devin Haney looked. Devin Haney looked like he was half dead. Like Devin Haney looked like his neck, the next step he took that night, he could be laying in a coffin. That's how terrible he looked. He looked like a dead man walking. Look at Devin Haney on fight night against Lomachenko, on the weigh-in night against Lomachenko, and then look at Frank Martin on weigh-in night against Tank Davis. Yes, Frank Martin looked absolutely healthy. He's using all them excuses now because Frank Martin shouldn't even been getting that fight and he got beat the fuck up. Simple as that. And what else I had to and another thing I meant to bring up, y'all, that I heard him saying in his motherfucking live this morning. Somebody in the comments, great question. Somebody in the comments, because of the conversation y'all was having, I heard somebody in the comments said, did Floyd Mayweather unify at 130 or 135 in the early parts of his career? Did he unify in the same divisions that Tank was in when he was in the same divisions that Tank was in? And they didn't want to answer you, bro. They tried to hide that from you and not tell you that. So maybe, hopefully, whoever you was, you get a chance to hear this video. No, Floyd did not unify at 130. He did not unify at 130. He did not unify at 135. He did not unify at 140. If you want to know who those fighters were, brother, at 130, Floyd won the belt from Hernandez, whatever his name is. After he won his first belt, at 130, Floyd refused. He did not unify. I don't know who. I don't want to say who refused. I don't want to say whether Floyd refused, whether they refused. I just want you to know the motherfucking fights didn't happen. Just like Tank didn't unify at 130 with Loma or Tevin Farmer. He didn't unify with none of them guys at belts at 130 after Tank won his first belt from after Tank won his first belt from I can't think of his name right now. Y'all know who I'm talking about, though. At 130, Tank first belt. After he won his first belt, he didn't unify with Tevin Farmer, Lomachenko, or Miguel Berchelt. All right? Same way when Floyd won his first belt at 130 against Gennaro Hernandez, he didn't unify with Acelino Freitas, and he didn't unify with the dude from Cuba. Y'all know who I'm talking about too. I can't think of his name right now. But he didn't unify Casamayor. Thank you. There you go. Casamayor. He didn't unify with Casamayor. So it was the same shit. And also when Floyd went to 135, Casamayor and Acelino Freitas followed him to 135, where he still proceeded not to unify with neither one of them. And yes, Floyd did drain Diego Corrales from 135 down to 130. Floyd fought Diego Corrales when he was at 130. When Floyd got to 135, he refused to give Diego Corrales a rematch. All right? Floyd only rematched motherfuckers he felt like he could beat. He rematched whatever that dude name was at 135. Name start with a C. He rematched him because he felt like he could beat him. He did not rematch no motherfucking De La Hoya, which was a close-ass fight. He did not rematch no motherfucking Canelo, nowhere. And he did not rematch no motherfucking Manny Pacquiao. None of them. He could even fight Manny Pacquiao right now instead of fighting all these motherfuckers that don't box. All right? It's no excuses. All right? So, that's, yeah, if you want to know, as far as with Floyd, that's Floyd's situation. Fuck no. You was asking particularly about that 130, 135, 140 of Floyd. No unification, bro. Just giving it to you how it is. Floyd, 5-division champion, great fighter, made the most money. I'm going to give him his props where his props is due. I'm not giving him props where he did not get props. Fuck no. We don't do that over here. Y'all already know that. None of that goes on over here. Yeah, 130, 135, 140, no unifications at all. All right? He did unify at 147, yes. Yes, he unified at 147. Never undisputed, though. He did unify. Did not unify in those divisions that Drew and his little crew up there was trying to keep from you and make you think. And he was saying, oh, Floyd fought everybody. Floyd fought them all. He fought them all and da-da-da-da-da. Shut the fuck up. No, he didn't. He did not fight those motherfucking champions because y'all was talking about Tank and y'all was relating the situation to Tank and trying to make it seem like Floyd took belts at 130 and Tank didn't. Don't do that. I caught you lying. Every time I catch y'all, I'm going to slide it. Every time I catch you, I'm going to slide it out there. I'm coming to get it. I'm going to come to get it every time. Stop lying, all you more. Stop lying. Tell the people the truth. So we got all kinds of boxers out here, all these boxing talk channels up in the Raw about news coming out that Tank may be putting, maybe retiring from the sport. So first and foremost, let me say this. I'm pretty sure if you're real to yourself, we all know we all have different times in our life where we go through some things. Just because Tank became successful in the sport of boxing, don't mean he can't make bad decisions. All of us can. It happens. It happens every day in life, and sometimes it take you to go through. It take you to go through things a few times, or maybe even lose your freedom to make you sit down and think about where you're going wrong. And sometimes some people never get it. We got those out there too. But depending on what you did It could be a one-time deal. Look at Reggie Gross, another boxer from Baltimore. Y'all can look him up. Another boxer from Baltimore that couldn't let go of the street side part of his lifestyle, which was business. But it was the legal business of making people disappear. And it caught up with him. It took everything he had, everything that he had going financially for himself, even having a fight with Mike Tyson. But to this day, he has nothing to show for it. Because he been on lock over the last 20 plus years. Things happen. Things do happen. And people right now Tank seems to be having outside the ring issues. That's what seems to be happening. That may call for a short break. It may call for a short break right now. I don't know. None of us really do. Keep in mind, it's only one person that know if Tank want to box ever again. It's only one person that know that. And that's Tank. Tank the only one that know that. Of course, I would totally understand if Roach moved on with his career. I would understand because I would do the same. I would do the same. As far as what's going on in Tank's personal life, I can't take sides from the outside looking in either. As far as his lady and himself. I can't take sides from the outside because I don't know what the fuck going on. I wasn't there. I'm not Drew Titan, who will tell you everything that took place in the house from the time the argument started. Drew talk about all that. Go to the show he just did this morning and tell you the whole fucking story like you're standing right there. And then he always talk about these videos he's seen with everything. He's seen the video of the female putting Tank toothbrush and shit. He's seen so much, but he don't never got nothing for his subs to see what he saw. Drew just don't like Tank. Because Tank is looked at as a YN. He looked at as a YN, and it's killing Drew inside that he can't call himself a YN. AKA a young nigga. Then Drew jealousy really came out when he say, Tank, he's 30 years old now. And you right. Yeah, he's 30, a whole fucking 20 plus years younger than you. And he's still in his YN stages. You mad because you are Owen? You are Owen. Don't hate on Tank because he a YN and you are Owen. One of these old niggas one of these old niggas that don't like seeing young rich niggas in positions financially that Drew didn't see in his YN years. You feel me? That's why we getting all it. That's why we getting all what we getting from Drew about Tank. Cause he never seen, he mad cause he didn't get to see that kind of shit in his YN years. He mad. Then he say dumb shit like Lamont Roach would beat Manny Pacquiao at 147. And he know for sure Tank beats Pacquiao at 147 because Pacquiao has an interest in wanting to fight Tank. When you don't know shit. You don't know shit. That's why you lose all the time. I wouldn't shut your losing all the time dummy ass the fuck up. Manny Pacquiao still has the chance to beat Tank at 147 if Tank would make that fight. And I don't know who would win unless they made the motherfucking fight. I watched 45-year-old George Foreman knock out a young 27-year-old Michael Moore. And from that point, I never say what a motherfucker can't do. And George Foreman was coming back off retirement. I never say what a motherfucker can't do because they are older fighter. At this point, I could care less who Tank decide to fight. Because, really, I'm watching so many other fighters at 135 anyway. Hopefully after Brian Norman stopped Devin, this nigga, Drew, he might stay on his, go over there on that motherfucking, what's that, painful, some shit you got, painful excellence or some shit, podcast, and leave boxing talk. Leave boxing talk the fuck alone. Stop telling other people they might want to be careful who they follow when you one of the main corporates a motherfucker should make sure they do not listen to. Or rather, better yet, you can listen to you, but don't take that shit in. Don't believe that shit at all. Don't believe it at all. Whatever Tank decide to do will be the decision he got to live with. If he don't rematch Roach, he got to live with that. Not me, not you. If he don't fight Shakur, he got to live with that. We watching. We see what he doing. And what he not doing. Tank, if Tank retires right now, we're going to give him the credit for the little bit he done as far as accolades. In my eyesight, he is a one division champion at 130 pounds. And then went and took a real belt at 130. We all remember. I just can't think of his name right now, but we all know when he won his first belt at 130. And then he went and took crackerjack belts at 135 and 140. We remember that. It was like yesterday. Moved up to 135, fought Gamboa for a crackerjack belt. And then he moved up to 140 and fought Mario Barrios for another crackerjack belt. Because Josh Taylor had all four of the super belts that he could have fought him for. And Lomachenko and Devin Haney or one of them, one of them, mixture of one of them, had the belts when Tank came to 135 and fought T.O. I mean, when Tank came to 135 and fought, and fought, what's the name for the crackerjack belt? The dude that Bud fought. You know, so when Tank came there and Gamboa, Tank fought Gamboa at 135 for the crackerjack belt, but he could have fought for the real belt from whoever had the real belts. We not gonna never forget that. He done it. And like I said, all of the LDBC thought Frank Martin would beat Tank. So that was a fight. That was a good fight in the books for Tank, especially with all of y'all against him saying he was going to lose to Frank Martin. And Pedraza was a great fight, who I haven't been able to think about this whole show I've been talking to y'all. Pedraza was a great fight. Pedraza is a great win. That's an accolade legacy win right there. That's a legacy win, Pedraza. Yeah. You know? So now, at this point right now, Tank is a champion in 130. He's a champion in the 135-pound division with a super belt. Will he unify like he didn't unify at 130? Will he unify at 135 with this belt he got? Or will he retire? We'll see. We're going to see. It's going to happen. You know, it's going to happen. So he's a 2-division champion throughout his career right now. Then Drew say, Stormy say, love the sport, not the fighter. But Drew, you in full-blown love with Deontay Wilder and Devin Haney. What the fuck is you talking about? You love Devin Haney because Bill make it worth your love, right? In some kind of way. I don't know the full capacity of that, but in some kind of way, Bill making it worth you showing your love. So don't tell another fan not to love they fighter when your gump ass love yours. Whatever Tank decides to do doesn't stop the sport of boxing. That's the bottom line. When Floyd left boxing, boxing kept going. That's why we where we at now. That's why the fuck we where we at now. Hopefully Tank don't get no jail time, but if he do, he won't be the first boxer to go to jail. He won't be the first. And one last thing for the guy, Coach Hudson, that was on Drew Titan channel this morning trying to speak about Tank fans. Listen, hey Coach Hudson, Tank fans don't gotta be Devin fans and never will. And never will. Just because you like a guy like Deontay Wilder, knowing he wasn't a good boxer, doesn't mean I gotta like Deontay Wilder. Alright? Same thing with Devin Haney. Even as an undisputed champion, a 2-division champion, always give him his props. I always do. Even as an undisputed champion, and also a 2-division champion, I don't like what I see in Devin as a fighter. Okay? I don't like what I see in Devin as a fighter. And when Brian versus Devin comes in November, I'm going to put my money. You hear me, Coach Hudson? Hey, Coach Hudson. I'm going to put my money on Devin because goofy niggas like Drew think Devin is something that he not. You think I'm going to do that? You think I'm going to do that? And then on top of that, you and BFTB was up under Tank Nuts. Y'all was up under Tank Nuts before Bill Haney even came on the scene and came to y'all channels. Don't ever think that I forgot that. And I know what Devin going to do to Brian, Coach Hudson. I know what Brian going to do to Devin. That's why I know where to put my money. Devin getting knocked the fuck out. He getting stopped. And like I said, y'all switched up on Tank when Bill started coming to your channels. Just know some of us know that and we'll never forget it. None of us are with Tank on a daily basis. And none of us know what Tank plans to do if he don't go to jail, like I said earlier. Tank makes his own bed, and whatever the turnout be after boxing, it's up to Tank. The clock never stops clicking. It never stopped clicking. All fighters' career all of them have a beginning that surely leads to a motherfucking end. Believe that. And boxing continues to move on. Real talk. See y'all on the Get Back. I've been in my bag, I've been in. That fuck me, they cover it up. I ain't even love on her, but she fuck with the kid, cause I'm one of them ones. She ain't even love on her, cause she fuck with the kid, yeah, I'm one of them ones. They ain't even fucking with them, yeah, they fuck with the chicks, me some of them. I get up early, make me a 30, I might flood, I'm flooding the time. I got a band on me right now, if a nigga play games, he get shot down. I can't trust him, I'm keeping it on me, back in the day, I ain't need it, that's when it was good, but then it went on bad. How you gon' tell me you love me, and then you just cross me, don't know what to call it. I wanna jazz. My brother, he can't even call back. Don't be thinking I still been having my way. These niggas ain't never got nothing to say. And I stay in my lane and I run my cat. And I ran in front, I can never be last. You got pounds, stuff in the trunk and them bitches that fuck me, they cover it up. I ain't even love on her, but she fuck with the kid, cause I'm one of them ones. She ain't even love on her, cause she fuck with the kid, yeah, I'm one of them ones. They ain't even fucking with them, yeah, they fuck with the chicks, me some of them ones. Give me the lyrics, ones up in the pod. All of the bitches, they fuck with the crib. I got a gas and I know what I'm doing. Stacking that shit till it's day to the rip. I got a gas and I know where I'm going. Come from the mud, I show the tree. I really be in the hood and I hang with the thugs, I show the tree. I ride around through my city and I just be getting lit. I got a bitch, if she acting friendly, you know I'ma give her the boot. Lady, I've been getting rich, I've been in my bag, I've been getting cash. Lady, had me a kid, I got me a girl, you know she a cash.